Good morning, everybody. All right. So this was a little weird, I thought. I don't know. Maybe someone else knows what the hell happened at the end of the day there. In the middle of the day, and I had made the video, which was in Telegram and in the room. As I was making that video, things were kind of nasty. Things were coming down and wide range bar was forming. I guess end of the month, but like it was so extreme end of the month buying, and then we had that nice little trade on YM or, I think Sam used the leverage now. Anyway, it's like the spurt of buying, institutional buying, orders to buy whatever that came in that just exploded things higher in a vertical way, in the last 20 minutes, I thought was unusual, you know. Anyway, we're going to see where this all goes, whether it was some kind of fluke thing or if it follows through. Because my thinking was, what I communicated in the letter is that, hey, this bar like that forming in this way, regardless that our internals are not lined up yet. Not that they have to be every time. It's not like they're perfect, but over the decades, they do a pretty damn good job of signaling the next bottom. So we've got this wide range, extremely wide range bottoming tail bar. This thing should explode to new all-time highs. Now we've got this congestion up there, and we'll get to SPX. I'm just looking, this thing is just flatlining at the moment up here. Move this along. Right. It's right at the top of the wide range bar. And, the bottom of that bottoming tail bar. So I can see where it is on SPX. Right there. So keep in mind to watch 5,300. That's about where I put it right there. Yeah, it's close enough for government work, right? Anyway, there you go. Right at 5,300, which is lined up with this congestion. There's still a big open interest in puts and calls there. And that 5,300 level was important as we're just jiggling all around there. And then the break, and we come down to 5,200, which is what we were thinking it would stop there. And while it was, down below, this is actually what I was looking at when we made that video on Friday. Right? And I was explaining, okay, starting to go vertical. This bar is becoming a range expansion bar. And as I was talking, it was becoming a bottoming tail bar. And then it started creeping and moved up. What was indicative of that? Institutions participated. The volume? No, not even looking at volume. It's just that, a few day traders at the end of the day on Friday aren't going to create something like this. They must have been, buy on close orders, and a lot of them that drove prices higher that way. So it's an unusual bar, meaning the location to this congestion is unusual, whereas this kind of a bar typically happens after prices come down, toward an area of major support and buyers come in. And every Friday, I mean, for a while now, every Friday has been like dead. We get a little action in the morning and then things just, go into like a coma. So I thought it was strange. I'm a little interested every day to see where things go, but now we just look at the charts and what do they mean? So we've got this bar that, almost touched the 50. It didn't touch the 50. I remember it was the 5,200 was the number. But once it got below it, I thought, and I think I said it in the video, well, maybe this is going to touch the 50, then started forming the bottoming tail bar. It never did. So what does that tell us? Institutions, traders, whatever, were bullish and anticipating making a turn, and they jumped on board, and it didn't touch the 50. So that's a sign of being bullish. Again, we got this overhead congestion. It's kind of extended here. So we got a little void below. It's the weakest link. I usually refer to this to wide range bars, but range expansion bar like this bottoming tail bar, it's the weakest link. It implies it's going higher. If it doesn't, because the extreme move creating a void is the potential to fall apart. We'll see if it does. That's the unknown. The weekly chart formed a correction bar. It was going up. It stalled. And even though this bar is not even, it broke below the low of the narrow range bar and formed a bottoming tail bar. So here was the initial move. It formed a correction bar. It's supposed to go up. Now, so you look at that. Okay, fine. Correction bar. It's not just a bottoming tail bar. It didn't even break the low, but that's where it stalled. The momentum slowed. The next move up, measured move higher. And this was where we had the breakout bar failure and had the pullback. So now here's the next move. The distance between the lows, or the highs, I should say, are decreasing. So there's no doubt that the upside momentum is slowing. That doesn't mean it has to go down, right? It has been going sideways. But with that bar, it implies it should go to 5,400. Now we're going to see what it does. What it should not do is not go below that wide range bar. That's where we're at. And ideally, stay in the upper half of the wide range bottoming tail bar on the daily chart. So any downward moves that come, and this is kind of close, this put strike right there, that's pretty close because this is like right here, it came up a whole, this was down at 5,200, which got tagged last week. This came up quite a bit. This only came up a small amount from where it was. So with a bar like this, you would think it's possible. Could it get up to the top there? Sure. I don't think it's likely because after such an extreme move, like a wide range bar, markets, stocks, whatever forms that, they rest and you get an inside bar. So even if it moves up a little bit, it'll jiggle around. And the essence of a 1, 2, 3 is that within the 1 bar is an extended move. The 2 bar chops around, creating a support area to then go higher from. So we need some additional information here, because if you were to get a bar like this with the structure being different, right, the expectation would be, it can take off. It could jiggle a little bit, but here, how do you participate from a swing trading perspective? Putting a stop down here seems ridiculous, reward to risk. But, if you put your stop way down there and think, okay, eventually it'll get to 5,400 and you'll sit through whatever. I mean, patterns like this typically result in some chopping around for a while. And we've got some number coming out at 10 o'clock. I think ISM services, we'll see what kind of havoc that ISM manufacturing and employment at 10 o'clock, construction spending, ISM manufacturing new orders, ISM manufacturing prices. So we'll see what the market deals with that. Yeah, manufacturing PMI at 945. So it could be a little jiggling back and forth. Keep that in mind. All right, so there's SPY, SPX, Q's, giant bottoming tail bar, just chopping around. The composite made a new all-time high on this day, poked up. And so now this came down, didn't touch the 50, as S&P's turned, this turned, plenty of overhead congestion there. It wasn't an area of some support, a little bit of support there. And so now we'll see, where is it? It's gapping up a little bit right up into this little congestion right there. We'll see where that goes. Um, Russell, Russell, well, that's a pretty decent sized gap up. Oh, look at how that continued. Yeah, that's gapping up a lot. So, what's oil? Oil's doing nothing. So, take a peek at biotech and energy. The energy stocks were doing well that day. Um, nice wide range reversal bar. That's more of a normal wide range bar. I mean, look at this little consolidation right here, right at this pivot low, and then it breaks down. It's like, okay, this thing's going down to fill that gap. It's going down to the 200, and it goes all the way back up and gets above the bar. That's the beginning of a bottom. That's a turn. So now will this chop around sideways a bit? It's under the moving averages and congestion, so it needs a little bit more work to do. But that's the kind of reversal that I would say is normal. The expectation down here, a little bit of a shock. It's like, okay, big reversal. But is all of these reversals just because it's the end of the month? Maybe. And then we look at software. That's crashing. Terrible weekly chart. Looks like it's going to go lower. Internet, you know, nasty looking weekly chart. Look at the way that came down. That's terrible. Um, you know, Pretty big sizable move down in technology because the semiconductors early on were giving it up. And see, it was a big bar, touched that support and sprung right back up again. So I think we're going to see, which would be normal, a little backing and filling. We got a bunch of reports coming out. Tomorrow's more reports. And after that, we're all sick of it, but it is what it is. So we'll see how this develops. Here's the password, 10-year interest rates, for logging into the room. So we talked about this over a couple of weeks. The uptrend, the pullback, we were looking for a turn, started making the turn, it came back in again. Now the daily is on some support. We'll see if it starts flipping back up. Things are kind of messy here. Bitcoin's up here, starting to inch up out of our little triangle. So keep an eye on those stocks. Block ETF, that looks like that's been on hold. Let's see. It doesn't show much, but if it's taken out these highs, you want to keep an eye on that. And the usual stocks that move around with Bitcoin, gold, just tight. That's tightening up. Send alert, back and forth. It's getting tighter. And silver, they're not ready yet. This one definitely to keep an eye on. Set an alert down below these pivot lows. Right? Oil has been all over the place in this trading range, yet oil stocks and the XLE had this big day. Now, oil and ETFs and oil stocks don't always move hand in hand. They don't. Sometimes for the longest time, they can be moving in opposite directions, but that's what they do sometimes. Anyway, this is down on major support. Let's see if the buyers begin to show up here. And as always, what we want to keep an eye on is, does oil start moving up? Does interest rates start moving up? And we see, looks like the dollar would be down a little bit right now. Dollar, here we go. It's kind of flat. Anyway, let's see what the euro's doing. yeah, just chopping around. So there's a bunch of uncertainty patterns running around here. Overall, Friday was clearly decisively bullish. Financials looked like they were heading down here, like other things did, and ripped right back up again. That looks good. Yeah, there's plenty of stocks that look good. I mean, here we're talking about the markets, but there's plenty of stocks that look like they can do well. Like this. Um, the last I'll look at here is regional banks. So right now, probably see how things are going. We'll see after these reports come out and get a little bit more insight as to what the broader markets are going to be doing here. And we've got those individual stocks that look like they should continue to do well. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Well, I was in a good mood, but now I'm not. My, of all things, my big computer keyboard is not working. I can't get anything to work on TradeStation. I just replaced the batteries in the mouse. Man, it worked fine this morning. So, ah, all right. So I'm gonna have to work off the laptop. Dude, so I'm not gonna have any of my alarms that are set. Wow, I'm so frustrated. Sorry, you all. All right. Yes, it's wireless. Um, I mean, I see the arrows moving around, but when I'm typing, nothing's coming out. I did. I did. I just swapped the batteries. First thing I did. All right, let's continue. All right, so with this big end of day rally, I told Greg I was hoping for a controlled gap down, chop around for an hour, and then take the high out. But this is the card we're dealt. So um, I'm not going to be in a rush to get into longs, but I did have a long list of things. Alarms go off. So even though I don't have that computer, I wrote them down. So let's take a look over here. All right, Tosco alarm did go off. Now it's coming back in. So now it's going to be a clean hit. We did a put spread into the close. And then it's going to be a directional also. All right, I'm going to reboot this thing in the meantime. Oh, shoot, but if I reboot it, I'm going to lose the microphone. So I'm frustrated. All right, let me get through a few minutes of the open and then I'll reboot. All right, CSX. My alarm again went off, but now it's coming in, so that'll be a clean hit. So this is a great, we've been doing MT Lives 6 years now, so I think every conceivable topic we've covered. And this is the bottoming pattern. Look, we got the 200, we got a flat 20, we have two retests, we have bottoming tails on the weekly. So this is, and remember, Alex, Don, everybody else, of when we enter W bottoms, when we enter bottoming patterns, when we enter all kinds of things. So over Friday's high is when we're going to start to nibble into this as an anticipatory breakout to a new uptrend from a bottoming pattern. Hilton, Hilton, I said we're going to sell some puts on. Riven, same box. We're going to buy calls. Beautiful. Another bottoming pattern. It's just a different, totally different flavor, but it's a bottoming pattern. So we had, 100% retracement, 2 inside bars, price void, 180 on the weekly. But that's why you need Greg's course to understand price action. But that's a bottoming pattern, a good one. Visa, put spread idea, AMD. It's not only a put spread idea, 30-minute high, it's another bottoming pattern. And it's funny that I'm saying all these bottoming patterns in light of, the market's, spiders and Qs at all-time highs, So there's a lot of things under the hood. And this is severely lagging the SMHs, but this is a better new trade opportunity. That's because of this big old void. And look, I got 20 up, 200 up, 50 still working on curling flat. Look at SMHs. That's a buy setup with a big old bottoming tail. Yeah, let me write AMTL here. I gave a put spread in the letter, but sure, we can watch them. All right, still going through alarms that went off pre-market. AI, another bottoming pattern. IBM. This, it's another potential bottoming pattern, but it's totally different than every other one I just mentioned this morning. Now, I don't have total confidence this turn at the 200 and this retest is going to hold because of this ugly breakout failure. But it's a put spread idea to start. I need more data before I decide that I want to make that a directional. And ELF, buy setup, sloppy one, another bottoming pattern. Look how many bottoming patterns we've got our eye on this morning. But it's also 1, 2, 3 on the weekly, looks great. And finally, triple M alarm went off, another buy setup. And I see a lot of these coming in, so once I get my big computer back, I just got to reset alarms. Yeah, like I said, maybe around 9:45. Well, I can talk on here. Like, you know what? Hold on a second. All right, I'm now. I can't. I was trying to talk through the laptop to see if you could hear me, and then I was going to reboot the big computer, but I couldn't even mute. I couldn't even mute the other one because my keyboard isn't working. All right, so let's go back to plan B here. I'll just continue on the laptop. All right, so those are all my alerts that went off pre-market. Let's see what else is shaking here. GME toy is back in play. This I think is just the absolute most remarkable trader psychology. If I were in grad school, and we had to do a dissertation, this is what I would do it on. Just the stupidity of stock traders. So this guy, this clown, whatever his name is, Says, "Oh, look at my big position, you all," and he sends it out on Twitter. Look at my big position. Oh, okay. Let's make this company whose fundamental value has not changed one friggin' iota. Hasn't changed one iota over the weekend. And these friggin' idiots are what, you can do the math yourself there, but it's, 90% gap up, 85, whatever. Because this friggin' idiot says, look at my big position. Just, it's mind boggling to me. So I would keep an eye on that for a day trade short and also a call spread. All right, so here, no, it's exactly correct, Patrick. So it's 100% correct. It's following, right, exactly correct. It's either irrelevant information or it's old information. All right, so these are just some other memes, meme toys. I had an alarm on SPWR go off. This plug I've been watching for a week. Gap up here. Let's watch that 30-minute high. MPW Alex gave me another W bottom here. Let's watch that 30-minute high. SAIC, I think, was the only earnings one. Gapping down 131, so that's a call spread idea. HZO, somebody I think is trying to buy out rumors. LI, there was reports of EV sales. So this one is up, it's in a downtrend, it's an ADR, but nice gap. I guess had day alarm. Oh, great. Now my daily chart stopped working. Greg, help. I'm so frustrated. Now my laptop's acting up.
And I can't. I don't use that terrible program.
Look what just happened to my daily chart. It's not giving me data, only 2 days worth.
Looks like it's all squashed over to the left side.
Well, no, there's only 2 data. Oh, no, I'm hitting the arrow.
Use TC.
I can't use that thing. Just do it this way for now. It's easier fix. I had a day alarm go off. Shit. What is wrong? I'm typing in day and it's not switching. Day X. It's the same thing. Alex, help. What is going on? I just copied this chart. Every time I switch symbol, look. All right, diamonds. RCL, all right. I don't know what's going on with me today. Yeah, I will. Well, I need my big computer back too. All right, so I'm just frustrated flying blind here. I don't have any alarms set on this computer. Well, no real ones. I got all my real ones are on the big computer, which ain't working. All right, so let's. Oh, Tosca gap down. Wow. All right, so we have a put spread in that. So now Now I have no interest in the directional. Let's cancel it. I'll just go manually through our trade ideas. At Hilton. Hood. I personally would wait. I like the gap. I personally would wait 30 minutes, but I like it if it can close. I would like it. It is far from the 20, but I like the gap, but it's gap into resistance. Coin actually gap down. Mister. It's trading range, nothing to do. Mara. Mara sloppy. Ryan. Yeah, those are all sloppy. All right. These are, we got a bunch. We actually had a lot of trade ideas this weekend. Elf is off and running. That was a put spread and directional. A ribbon is a put spread idea. You know, you got to get the premium, but they're triggering. Airbnb, another. See, I call this one a potential double bottom. I'm sorry, potential bottoming pattern. Urban, yeah, yeah, beautiful downside shakeout, inverse head and shoulder, sure. That's good to go. 5-minute high. That I like. Let me check put spread too. Yeah, that looks fantastic. I would have put that in the weekend letter had I seen it. Although today's gap makes it better. Yeah, sample moving higher. Home run. Yeah, it's up 3. This is the one I put in the letter. And I said, beautiful inverse head and shoulder on the 15-minute chart for a day trade. I said it too extended to enter a swing trade here, but I beautiful 15. All right. All right. This is a put spread idea, AMD. And also, see how it closes, but it's still a bottoming pattern to watch. Workday, Friday's high, another put spread idea. Our charter from each Friday, holding well. These are open positions. Dash, we have a call spread. Diamonds, put spread. We did Friday afternoon. So this one we did catch the afternoon breakout. I gave this as a put spread. Meta, we have a call spread, and it was my bad that we did not take half at the low here. But that was a mistake. Tesla, we have a put spread. It's finally acting better. Inside, yeah. Ideally, it would close like ideally we get a 1, 2, 3. Look at the monthly retest. I like it. It's not a double bottom because the way it came in, this kind of messes it up. If this was just a fluid move down, then we'd call it a double bottom. But it's beautiful 180 retest there on the monthly. Varex is too sloppy for me. But I'll put inside here. And yeah, I looked at Mara, but it's too sloppy for me.
In a turn. Don't take your eyes off it.
ACIW, we're long stock and trail mode, stop 30, 35.15. Let's tighten the stop now. 35.48. Our Alks is stopping out at a small profit. Mike's freaking keyboard doesn't work. I was typing on the other computer, and so we're out of this. This was an old Aichi short trade. It would have been a great ad on Friday's low. Look at that bottom right, GME. So a little reality kicking in, it looks like. TSLT, this is that levered Tesla we're in. Oscar Charlie, we were short 170 puts. Let's go ahead and close this on the strength now. It went against us. Yeah, yeah, looks great. It's one of the better military looking ones. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, yeah, it looks really good. Tiva, yeah, yeah. How much room do we have? This is the one that hedge fund guy, I think, got smoked with. Run, we have put spread and UAL. Those are all our opens. Let's move stop days low 53.45. Let's sell a third here. $390. Okay, UA. You can buy into the gap fill as an igniting bar. M triggered. Yeah, Sam, you've been you're stopped. Are you drunk or what? Friday and today you're acting really strange. We can find better. Yeah, apple's a breakout. Yeah, it's an inverse head and shoulder. Looks great. Looks good, Patrick. And let's see, it put spread 190 also. No juice. But yeah, looks fantastic. And Greg, I'm full of problems here. Do you want to give this one directional? Looks great to me.
It's fine. Fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot the big computer here. So I'm gonna lose my mic, but I'll talk through um through the laptop. It's rebooting. I'm gonna have to hard reboot because I can't even, the mouse don't work. Sound check, can you hear me? Talking through the laptop now. Weekly has room, Alex, looks lower, stop high. All right, cool. Yeah, the other computer is rebooting. All right. Ah, I can move the mouse around, but it's just not typing. So the keyboard, that's, has that little, like this keyboard, so I'll just go buy a new one at lunch. It's keyboard ain't working. Oh wait, why would the mouse and keyboard stop at the same time? Okay, with keyboard is temporarily working. All I did was just push in that USB thing a little tighter. See if this works. Crazy. See the bow? They have the same adapter separate. Separate. No, same. Yeah, oh, that's why they went out together. Gotcha. But how? Well, maybe my mouse did not go out because I could see it and move it. So yeah, maybe it was just the keyboard only went out. Yeah, I'm just on the laptop now, Greg, with only one open, so that's strange if it's you still hearing. Yeah, see what other people say. All right, it looks like I'm back in business on the computer, but it's opening up the big
It's
one
like
here.
it's a delay, Dan. Like your comments come through and then they come through again.
Other people, same problem. So, box. Now I'm starting to see some of these alarms. All right, so box as a go. Buying $26 phones.